Next, we have incident management. And incident management, okay, well, something went wrong. We had our change management, we did our peer review, we did all the things that we were supposed to do, but something still went wrong. All right, I know that never happens, but unfortunately, let's just say hypothetically that it did happen. Well, what would we do? What should we do? Well, again, documentation, critical, because we need to understand that, all right, we got from point A to point D as an example. Well, now we need to go back. How do we do that? We need to make sure that's documented. We have the steps to get where we were going. Now we need to have the steps to get back from there. All right. We also need to make sure that this information is readily accessible by the NOC or the Network Operations Control Center, right? Or some type of incident command center, or whoever that person that's managing that change, make sure that that person or that group knows where to get the documentation. All right, so the standard operating procedures, the SOP, or the methods of procedure, the MOP, again, should be attached or included in the change management documentation. Okay, very, very important. And then a recovery plan should also be put in place, just a general guideline, what to do in case of emergency, right? The break glass in case of emergency, pull this manual out. So it should have steps to contain and remediate. All right, we should have a phone tree of people to call, our on-call personnel, our application owners, management, perhaps executive management, depending upon the type of outage we're experiencing, all of our vendor support information, who those points of contact are, after-hours support or offshore support, if applicable. All of these things should be readily available. Typically, when we're doing these changes, they're after hours anyway. So we want to make sure that these people have access to all this information. So another thing is security awareness training. Again, because we're talking about change management, but specifically talking around security change management, we want to make sure that they have security awareness training. And that basically means that we want to ensure our employees are diligent and they're aware of potential security risks and security issues. So that way they can be proactive, all right, and be preemptive, so they can understand and identify when there are potential security threats or security breaches maybe in flight, or maybe they can start to identify some of the precursors. Maybe some people are kind of fishing and poking around and doing port scans or whatever the case might be, right? So that way they can identify these things before it actually becomes an issue.